one taker. Ricky just taking, no giving. You're just taking it. All right, you ready? Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Timothee Lovelock, and I want to personally thank you for watching and listening to Love Over Everything podcast. Here we show love to people doing dope and inspiring things all over the world. So what better way to shed some light on the things they've done in the past and the things that they're currently doing right now. As always, please subscribe, hit that notification button, the bell, the flute, the tambourine, whatever it is, please hit it so that you can be up to date with the content that we're putting out. As always, support this show for only $1 with the link provided below. Ladies and gentlemen, our honorary guest, Ricky Young. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? I didn't deserve that, but
No, you deserve that. You deserve that. How's everything?
man, life is good. Life is good today.
Man, we are on the most, I guess, southern point of Blue Point in
Yes.
Jupiter,
We are.
and this is amazing. I feel great.
I have no qualms, man.
Yeah,
No
man.
qualms.
Yeah, we got the blue waters behind us, and it's a perfect day. A lot of people don't know who you are, but before you get into letting them know who you are, I want to take a little shot of the smoothest vodka on the planet.
Ooh.
You down for that?
Yes. Come on, man.
All right, we're gonna take a shot
All right.
of Zim's vodka, the smoothest vodka on the planet.
I'm here for this. No, it's good. More than good.
Ricky, you want people to get home.
Fill it up, baby. Let's go.
All right. Cheers. Salud.
Cheers. Salute.
That's smooth, right?
Smooth.
That's
Real
smooth. That's smooth.
Smoother than you,
Zims.
Timothy.
Zims.
Smoother than you.
Zim's, the smoothest vodka on the planet.
Ricky, who are you and what do you do?
What? What a question.
I know, right?
What am I today, or what have I done in my life? That's the best question.
All of the above.
These days I actually just play music for fun. I'm here in Jupiter, Florida. I was in Nashville for 10 years, getting after it, trying to make it a true profession, and had a lot of successes and a lot of hurdles and a lot of learning and understanding, and met a lot of great people, and somehow the world landed me in Jupiter, Florida, and we could probably talk about that later. But ever since I moved here, for the first time in 22 years of playing music, it feels like I found this like brand new start. I never even thought I'd even play music anymore, and with the people that we've met here, that I met here, the venues, it's like everyone's happy.
Yes.
And I just want to take that happiness and expound upon that.
Yes.
And, that's kind of what I'm doing here.
Okay. So I got to see you for the first time a couple Sundays ago. Our good friend Christy, shout out to Christy. She's like, yeah, we're gonna see Ricky Young. I'm like, Ricky who? Ricky Fontaine? No, Ricky Young. I'm like, who's Ricky Young? And then she showed me. I know, right? Pretty Ricky. And then we got here. I think it was like an hour and a half before your set was gonna be over with, and I was blown away, man. Like you have this essence of your voice, the timbre in your voice, and you did like a mashup. He did like a live mashup of all these songs. Like you touch, you touch Montel Jordan to Jason Aldean you played a lot of songs.
Yeah, it's a 35 song mashup. And I call it a roller coaster because it's every genre and it's every tempo, and it just goes up and down, and it's made to sing along. And that's become, I guess, a little staple of mine.
Yeah,
I never thought it would, but it kind of has.
So first off, how long did it take you to get that nice and tight?
Yeah.
How it is now?
Yeah,
like how long did it take you?
It's so many tempos and so many chord changes and key changes. So you're a musician,
Yes.
I would say it would have never happened had it not been for COVID, right? I mean, a lot of things wouldn't have happened.
Exactly, a lot of things would happen.
We were in Orange Beach, Alabama for pretty much one full year, and we had a dock on the water, not too far from where we're sitting here.
Uh-huh.
And, I got a chance to play a place called Floribama there for one straight year. And I was like, if I'm going to play here for a year, I got to do something cool. And so I sat down with like this list of songs and that I'd played over the course of my years. And it probably took me, I would say, 1 full week of practicing a couple hours a day to kind of like get the right
rhythm,
the right flow.
Okay.
And then I started adding some, and I took some away. Some of the ones that didn't make sense, I took away, and then I would add some. When I found one, I was like, "Oh, that fits."
That fits. Okay.
Yeah, so it took a little while.
Well, yeah, I was the crowd. You had the crowd in a trance. I mean, you could have told everybody to drop your panties down, your underwear, and like give me your credit card, and like they would have done it. Like everyone was just engaged, and I love that, and seeing a musician being able to literally control where the height of the music and the suspense, you're literally gauging that, and that was amazing.
It was. I tell you, it's been a strange blessing in my life because I never thought in a million years I would leave Nashville after being there for 10 years. I've played, like I said, kind of all over the country for the last 20. Leave Nashville, come to a place where I never thought I'd play music again, and have the experiences that I'm having every time I play here. Because what you just said is kind of what's happening every show here. I didn't even think it could exist.
Oh,
and
man,
here
it
it is.
exists.
It's happening. It's been, like I said, just a very strange and cool blessing.
Well, it happened, brother. It happened. I mean, somebody took my credit card, and I'm okay with it. I mean,
Jordan.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. There's charges. I'm like, okay, I was at Ricky Fontaine's concert. Just take it all, damn it. Now, South Carolina.
Yeah.
You're native from there?
I am.
Okay.
Tell me. Not born but raised. Yeah, not born but raised.
So where were you born?
I was born in Fairbanks, Alaska. I just kept going south.
You're like, I need to get out of here. Fairbanks, Alaska.
Fairbanks, Alaska. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Let's before we get to that. How did that? Why?
So my biological father was in the Army.
Okay.
And so my mom traveled with, and that's where he was stationed at the time. And I don't have basically no memories other than pictures. From there, because we were only there 2 years, and kind of started making our way back south to South Carolina, which is where my basic family kind of set up shop.
Okay. All right. So we came from Alaska to South Carolina.
Florida.
Oh, it's to South Florida. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So as far as your journey in South Carolina, how was that before you went from there to Nashville?
Yeah, I kind of bounced around actually. So I play a song called Troubadour, and it's kind of been, I would say, would be the theme song of my life for the last 20 years, I guess.
Okay.
So I went to college at South Carolina, University of South Carolina, graduated there. I spent 5 years in Atlanta, spent almost 5 years in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then 10 years in Nashville. So you're like, wait, how old is he? Like 100 years old? And then a year in Alabama, and then I've been here for a year.
Okay, so out of all these places you've been to, what's your top? What's your favorite?
Man, there's so many great memories at all of them. Gosh, it's very hard to say. I would tell you straight up, musically, as strange as it sounds, since I've moved here, it's just been a different vibe, a different feel. I feel like you do all these things and you try to figure out a way to make it in music, and when you finally I kind of thought I closed the door when I was leaving Nashville.
Yeah.
And I show up here, and it's like this new door opened, and I'm like, this is the happiest I've ever been playing music in my life.
That's awesome.
It's the happiest I've ever seen people.
Yeah.
While I'm playing.
Yeah.
So it's if you're forcing me to give an answer, I would say right here, Jupiter, Tequesta, Florida.
Yes, I have a gun to your side. That's awesome. I mean, yes, I get it. Every location is bringing a fond memory that will stick with you for the longest. And obviously, right now, this is where you reside. Yeah. So here in Jupiter, I mean, the people here, just the environment. I mean, how can you be upset playing on the water? How can you have a negative day? And this is the atmosphere that you're blessed with to play for people,
I've never seen happier people in my life till I moved here. Like truly happy people. And I'm telling you, there's something to that. I don't know what the recipe is to get there, but they found it here.
Yes,
and we're like, man, happy to start a family down here. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you play and you do covers and this and that. And I know obviously you do original music.
Yes.
Okay, so I did some research back in 2011. You had you worked with Grammy-winning producer Nick Autry.
Yeah.
Tell me that experience. How was that?
Man, so that's kind of what started turning music into a profession officially. So I was playing a random, it was like a benefit concert in Raleigh, North Carolina, and there was basically it was Nick Autry was a producer in Nashville and an engineer in Nashville at the time, and he saw me playing. He goes, I talked to him after. He's like, what are you doing here? I was like, what do you mean? What am I doing here? I was like, I'm just playing music and having fun. And yeah, he goes, man, you need to be in Nashville. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, man, I can get Jason Aldean's band to play a record for you. He goes, you have the sound. He goes, I've been in Nashville for a long time, and I immediately know you need to be in Nashville. And I was literally mind blown. I was like, what? I mean, I'd only done it for fun or for a hobby prior to then. And he was serious. And he just, he stayed on top of me. And literally within 3 months from that time of meeting Nick, I was there full time. I recorded my first record called Spinning My Wheels. It was 16 tracks. And then boom. And it was like, let's go. And then I was in Nashville full time. I was trying to, everyone moves to Nashville with a dream, and that's what I went after.
So when people say, throughout my career, everyone's always saying, "Oh, you need to be here, you need to be there, you got to meet so and so here." Is it that imperative? Is it with technology today? Do you feel that it's impossible to do it in a location like, okay, I'm in Jupiter, I'm not in Nashville. Yeah. Can I do what needs to get done in Jupiter versus packing up and going to Nashville? Because there's always this gray line. Man, if you went to New York, man, you'll make it a long time ago. Well, if you shared my post, I would have made it a long time ago.
Exactly. If you shared it, everyone shared it. No, it's so true. That's actually a very, very good question, because I think when I moved there in 2011 to where it is today, that one decade has changed everything.
Okay.
When I moved there, I would say 98% of people had to move there to make it, maybe 99 or more. Now, I would say less than 10% have to move there to truly make it. With all the digital and social, everything that exists now, like if you build a fan base, you don't need Nashville.
You don't need
Nashville.
Yeah,
if you can build a fan base away from Nashville, and that's great if you can build it while you're there. I was told, Ricky, move to Nashville, do all the songwriting nights, don't get stuck on Broadway. If you get stuck on Broadway, it's a black hole. Yeah, you'll stay there forever. Don't do that. Leave on weekends. Go build a fan base. Come back, write with all the Nashville writers. Yeah. Do all the songwriter nights. Yeah. Repeat. And that's what I did for 10 years, and it was great. And I had some success. I didn't quite break through like some of my friends did. Yeah. I have no regrets. But today, like if I was 18 to 25 today, and I lived here, I would never leave here. Yeah. I would do everything that I could do that's free in the world, because there's so much of it that can get you a ton of recognition, of insights and all that. And I think 10 years changed it all, man.
Okay. So there is, like you said, technology is amongst us, and like you said, even being signed to a record label these days is obsolete in my eyes, because they've been realized they're not needed. They're not needed to the point where to get you famous.
Terrestrial radio is a dying breed.
Yes.
I'm sorry, my friends at terrestrial radio. It's been falling off a cliff for a while.
Yes. I mean, we have all these social media stuff. If you do what you do online and you have a 1.1 million, what did the label do for you that you didn't do yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
So they realized that a long time ago, and it's constantly shifting.
I agree.
This industry is constantly shifting.
Like every year it moves a different slight direction.
Yes.
And in 10 years, man, from 11 to 10 years ago, or in that 10-year span, it's crazy
it is.
How much has changed.
It really is. Yeah. Now, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's interesting. I definitely see myself here.
Okay.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Hey, not leaving here. Yep. Yep. I really hope to be doing the exact same thing I'm doing in 5 years with a 5-year-old little daughter, and maybe a second one coming shortly behind. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's touch on that. So
Yeah.
you have a baby on the way.
Baby on the way, man.
He just right before we turned the cameras on, he said, "Yo, Lovelock, I want to make you the godfather." I'm like, "Damn, bro. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility."
Yeah. Hey,
You know, I was like, "But I'll do it though for Ricky."
none of those Zims can't.
Yeah. I'll do anything for Ricky Fontaine. Yo. So yeah, you have a little girl coming, right?
Yes. January 12th.
January
2023, man. We are very, very excited.
So how do you feel?
It's so weird. Like every day we have this app, the Ovia app, which I'm sure a lot of people who have had kids have recently in the last several years have probably used, and it's crazy to see reproduction happen in real life, like human life forming before our own eyes.
Oh yeah.
It's like, me and my wife, we were on a boat before we came here and met you, and we were talking about like how reproduction is basically the genesis of life, right? And how it's so normal, but yet when it happens to you, it's like mind blowing. Like, wait, how is this happening in our lives? So as weird as it is to say, like we're going through that right now, and we're so happy and like
that's
beyond
awesome.
blessed that we're going through it with everything's been healthy and.
Okay, that's a blessing. God, yeah.
Absolutely.
Praise God, because that's all. At the end of the day, that's all we're looking. Everyone's looking for is a healthy baby. I have twins.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I have twins, and yeah, thank you. And they were, pregnancy wise, everything was fine. Thank God. So how long have you, your wife, and yourself have been together?
Almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years.
Yep.
So.
Well, 10 years. Married 5 years. I should say that. Yeah.
So, what is one of the biggest advice that like your friends that have kids that have told you guys since like now you coming into parenthood?
Man, everyone has their own opinion, right? So
I'll give you mine in a second.
Oh yeah, I want you to give me yours. I would say, gosh, there's so many different ones. If I had to pick one, oh my gosh, I feel put on the spot here. I don't even know because there's been so many. Oh my gosh.
One that stuck out to you. One that stuck out to you. Is there anyone that stuck out to you?
Was
like your parents or her? Like this, did they say anything like, you know?
There's so many ones going through my head right now. That I'm just trying to figure out.
All right. Well, I'll give you one. The biggest thing is patience. Patience, and I'm sure, well, every woman's different. I'm not going to say, they're all the same because they're not. But patience is key because, at the end of the day, yes, she's literally growing another human inside of her. Jeez, that sounds like freaking like Alien Resurrection.
Literally inside of her.
Is she okay?
Yes.
Do we need to call Arnold Schwarzenegger? But no, seriously though, she has a lot going on.
Yes.
So you have to, if she like lashes out on you, it's not her intention to do that. It's just the hormones, the emotion. It's just a lot to bear. Her body's changing. So the biggest one I can give you, if anything, from this podcast you take home is, damn, Lovelock said patience.
Patience, and
patience.
That's something I've slowly learned over time.
Yeah,
and I think that's actually really good advice because that's I've had some other fathers tell me this. So, man, yes, because there's so many emotions going on, and it happens so differently for the male and the female. And,
yes.
Because it's literally growing in their body. So, and everything is changing inside of them, and we're just here.
Yeah.
And it's something that's really not talked about. Like, my whole life, all my friends have multiple kids, and I never heard them talk about this.
No, they haven't.
Know these things were coming.
No, they haven't. Well, even my parents never spoke about anything on this subject.
Ever, yeah.
Never. And just adulthood, they just never really mentioned hey, when you finish high school, it's the real world. Bills are coming, this and that. Oh, how's the process when a baby's on its way? Geez, can something be said?
Yeah.
To prepare us?
I'll say MC, my wife, she's an absolute soldier. So
what's her name?
MC.
Yeah. Shout out to MC.
MC, woo! Hey, you're killing it. You're killing it.
And then what did you say? Did you say the daughter's name?
We haven't picked it yet.
You haven't picked it yet?
We have a long list of names that were, every morning. So this is cool. So every morning I wake up and I go to the list on my iPhone of the names that we've kind of written down.
Okay.
And so every day I choose a new name. I'm like, hey, how's so and so going? How's she doing today?
Okay.
And so just to get a feel, I don't know if that's normal or not, but that's how we're doing it.
No, that's there's no right or
So I
wrong.
would say, there's some names that are coming off the list, but maybe there's some going on too. So. I would like to think, we'll narrow it
I
down.
mean, can I throw a name in there?
Please, come on.
Let me throw. I mean,
All right.
let's name. I mean, how about?
I need 2 or 3.
We'll give you something authentic. Let's call her LaQuanda.
LaQuanda Young. LaQuanda Young.
All right.
It's got a ring
All
to
right.
it. It's got
All
a
right.
ring to it.
No, let me give you one serious one. How about?
LaQuanda.
Let me give you one. Let me give you one. One that has like, just basing it off your mood, and I could,
All right.
I
I like
only,
that.
I can only imagine how your wife is. I'm sure she's super chill.
All right.
How about?
She's cool and chill, yeah.
How about Hope?
Hope. You're the second person that said hope.
Really?
Interesting. It's interesting.
Really?
It's interesting. Second person. Because that's not obviously a very normal
No, it's not. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're a creative, man. Look at Jay-Z naming their kid Blue Ivy. Like when I first heard that, but now it's stuck onto us. Oh, Blue
is that
Ivy. Like it's like it's stuck now. I thought they were absolutely
Hope
Kanye
Young.
West. What's his name? Northwest. Oh my God. Northwest. Name your daughter East West. East to the West.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know. Hope is nice.
Young Hope. Because you got to do it backwards too with the last name for you. Young Hope.
Young
That's pretty
Hope.
cool.
Young Hope.
Young Hope. You got to do
Young
it.
Hope.
I feel like you
that.
have to do it backwards. 'cause
Yeah.
That's how they read it in class, right? Young Hope.
Yeah,
Young
that is
Hope
true.
Young. Yeah, there you go.
So
All right, I'm adding it to the list.
Add that to the
it
list.
The morning name list.
okay, there you go. So you had the opportunity of going back to your music here, of opening up for some big names since 2001.
Yes.
Just to name a few, we got Eric Church, we got Blake Shelton, we got Lee Brice, we got Ellie, the Ellie Young Band, Telly Farr, Chase Rice. What was those experience? Is there any experience that stuck out to you that was like, man, like this is, what was the impact? Like
Yeah,
how surreal was this?
There's a very easy answer to that, and a lot of the ones where I've opened, some of them were festivals, some of them were just direct opening acts. So like Eric Church was a festival. I played before him at a festival in South Carolina, and it was like, it was absolutely crazy. But at the same time, we were a little bit separated. I never even saw him.
Okay.
I didn't get to hang out with him and stuff. But so, I grew up in South Carolina. The reason I picked up a guitar was Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish. Oh, wow.
They were huge. They were massive.
Oh, I remember them.
When I was a young buck. They all went to South Carolina. And
I did not know that.
yeah, they all went to South Carolina, which is, naturally I was right outside of Columbia, South Carolina is where I was, not born, but raised. And anyways, long story short, fast forward, almost 17 years later, I get a chance to open up for Darius Rucker in my home state on my birthday, in front of all my friends and family at an arena. And I still, I was probably 8 years in Nashville at this time, 7 years in Nashville at this time. And I still not met Darius. Now, he's my idol. He's the whole reason, again, I picked up a guitar.
Okay.
So, anyways, I opened up for him. It was crazy. It was at a basketball arena. I mean, it was like literally an out-of-body experience.
Ricky's like,
truly.
this just take me.
and I still go back and look at videos and pictures from that day, and I'm like, man, that was my day, right?
Yes.
Like, that was it. So anyways, I'd still not met him after I opened him. I come off stage, and I was like, oh, man, this is going to be crazy if I don't get to meet him today, of all days. And all of a sudden, his bass player, who I'd actually written some songs with, he goes, hey, Ricky, Darius wants to meet you in the green room. So I go to the green room, and Darius Rucker's standing there with a shot of Jack Daniels, and he goes, Ricky, happy birthday, you killed it. And we did this cheers. And so that's when I officially retired from music.
Like, all right, my mission here is done.
I'm done. Everything I can't do anything bigger than this moment right here. But then I quickly unretired. When he said, hey, Ricky, do you know family tradition? I said, Darius, I do. And he said, "You got second verse." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You got second verse." And I was like, it took me a second to figure out what he's talking about. He goes, with him on his stage. So that day, I got to meet my idol, open for my idol on my birthday with all my friends and family at an arena. Got to take a shot of Jack Daniels with him backstage, play Family's Tradition with him on his stage. And in the middle of that song, he had me another Jack Daniels shot, which is icing on the cake. Needless to say, to answer your question, there is no second. That is number one. It'll always be number one.
I've
had some fun days in Nashville and being on the road and opening up for people, but that took the cake right there.
Oh my gosh, I would be, sometimes you get like shocked in the moment.
Yes, it was like mind blown.
But were you able to sleep that night?
No, not at all. And because after that, like all your friends and family are there. Y'all were partying after. We actually had a show after that.
Yeah.
It was in Myrtle Beach. We actually had a solo show after that, and the night was just absolutely crazy. It was by far the best night I've ever had in music in my entire life.
So rumors have it that you're good friends with Jason.
We have become good friends more recently. Actually,
that's awesome.
Actually, leaving Nashville.
Really?
Yes, leaving Nashville. I'd met him several times in Nashville and out and about in Vegas and stuff.
Okay.
I feel like in Nashville, you see more people in Las Vegas for the award show, ACMs and stuff. I actually met my wife at the ACM Awards at Blackjack table. And anyways, yes, his family got a house just north of here, and we have some mutual friends here. We've become kind of cool.
Okay.
Kind of cool together.
Well, Jason and I go way back.
Do you?
Yeah, we half mother.
Talk to me about that.
No, I'm joking. That's a Zims talking right there. That's a Zims talking.
I was like,
yo, Jason, holla at me, yo.
This thing just went to a whole nother level.
All right, I want to ask you, what is your, either with performing, which I'm sure you have some, what is your biggest pet peeve? Recording? It could be something that that your wife does that just annoys you that you just never told.
First of all, my wife has never annoyed me ever.
Come on, Ricky.
Let's get that on record.
Oh, Ricky, come on, man. Ricky, don't tell me that, Ricky.
We cool like that.
Oh, we going to the house tonight. We're bringing the camera guys tonight.
All right. She doesn't like when I drink too much, but besides that, we're like.
She's like, babe, stop. That's your fifth shot of Zims. Stop. What is your biggest pet peeve?
I would say in all of. Whether it's live or recording, I feel like my biggest pet peeve in the last 20 years is like, I feel like when I get in the studio, and there's probably a lot of musicians like this, when I get in the studio, I feel like it's hard to replicate the exact feel and sound voice as I play live. Because a lot of people have told me, they're like, hey, we listen to music, and it sounds a lot different like recorded than it does live.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in the middle of recording, or supposed to record vocals this week on a new song. It's actually the Jupiter song I wrote about moving here, leaving Nashville.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten the booth yet, but I want to try to figure out a way to replicate the true live performance sound in a studio. That's my pet peeve. I haven't been able to figure that out.
So there's a way that could be done, actually. That's funny that you mentioned that.
Help me out.
Before I tell you the secret, can you and I work on a record?
Yeah, let's do it, bro. I mean, hey, if you're doing it with me, I'm down.
All right,
you heard it here first.
You got it here first. I'm gonna call Ricky next week. Ricky ain't picking up the phone. No, no, but to catch that, you literally got to bring the equipment outside. So I've talked about that with Job, and bringing it because it's something with the atmosphere. More than ever, people are recording in remote locations. Right. No one's really wanting to go to the Hit Factory in Miami to be confined by walls.
Right.
Like, imagine being able to record an album sitting right here, facing the water, and you're getting clear audio. I don't want to be in the wall.
Yeah.
When I record in the studio, I like to see light. Yep. I don't like to be in the dark. I hate recording late at night, 1 a.m. People always say, oh, that's the perfect time. I'm like, no, for you it is.
Yeah. If you're a vampire.
Exactly. Like, my juices flow in the morning. Like,
I'm a morning person too, man.
Oh,
so
man.
I get it, dude.
Yes. I love it. So to bring the audio equipment outside and to be able to catch, obviously we can't catch. Yeah, can't catch, the wind and stuff like that.
That's right.
But just to catch that vibe, bring it outside.
Wow.
I read so many blogs about how Coldplay recorded the majority of their songs on their albums.
Really?
I mean, on the laptop, recording sounds from garbage cans, just not even in the studio.
Really?
And I mean, obviously, everybody knows Coldplay.
That's right.
But to capture that emotion in the present, it's always different when you're not confined by walls and there's
Yes.
no natural sun. I mean, it's
No.
just it speaks for itself.
Dude, I'm with you. It actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's a reason why you can't replicate it because you're not doing the same thing.
Yes, yes, and I'm sure you've heard. Oh, Ricky, I mean, you were live. You know, why we're not getting that on the album? Yeah, because nobody's in front of me in the studio when I'm recording. Of course, it's not going to be the same.
Which is also the best compliment you could get as a musician, or at least as a singer, is that,
Yes.
oh man, you sound so much better live than your recorded record. I'd rather them say that than say, oh, you sound a lot better on your record.
Yes, yes,
You know what I
yes. What would you tell yourself, your young self, 15 years ago, back then, that things that you wish somebody would have told you back then? What would you tell your
that's pretty
younger
easy.
self?
Ricky, I need you to dig into tech world, start Instagram, start TikTok, start Facebook, and then promote yourself on those things. Because it'll happen a lot faster.
Yes, it would.
Your scope will be a lot bigger, a lot faster if you can figure out. You know, that's it, man. It's a interesting question because I don't feel like I look back at any part of my life and say, "Oh, I wish I would have done it differently."
Yeah.
Obviously, we all have like different points in our life where we're like, "Oh, I wish I could have." ... Musically, I feel like everything's kind of happened naturally, and here I am in today, sitting in a place where I never thought I'd be, happiest in that place that I never thought I'd be.
Yeah.
And not only just location, but just like my mental state, my musician state, my writing state. So it's hard to say I'd go back and do it, or would want to tell my former self something. If you're forcing me to answer that, I would definitely say practice more.
Okay.
I did way more playing,
Okay.
which has obviously helped the live show. But I never got as good on guitar as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I never did vocal lessons. I wish I'd have done that.
Yeah.
There's some things I wish I'd have technically done better.
Okay.
That a lot of people probably were doing and succeeding in, and
Yeah.
they're probably killing it now because I didn't do it.
And I'm a firm believer on letting things. I mean, God's already written your plan. You just gotta walk the path.
Yeah.
It's already been written. So definitely, like you said, you can't look back on regrets because it happened how it was supposed to happen.
In my mind, I never thought I'd be playing music again. There's no denying that God had his hand with where we are today, with playing music here. I actually found a good church. I'm hoping to do some music with them and link up and do some cool stuff with them locally. And couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, there you go. So one more thing before we get into our two little things that I want to do with you. One you kind of already know. I want to just do one little, I guess, excerpt of jamming out with you on the violin.
I like it.
And see if we can get that happen. And the second thing is I would just like to play just 2 rounds of the tortilla slap water in the mouth.
I've actually never done that. I've never done it.
So just do that, and I want people to see the other side of you. Everyone knows the music side. Oh, he's so good. We got to see the quirky side of
There's
Ricky.
plenty of that.
All right, I want to ask you one more thing.
Right, what we got?
What do you want people to take away from you after they hear your music or after they hear you performing?
Yeah, I think another great question, by the way. I think it's a pretty easy answer today, and it's probably changed over the course of 20 years for sure. Actually, I know it's changed over the course of 20 years. When I finish a show now, and people come up to me and they're like, "I've never had so much fun on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Sunday." That's what I want people to. I want to be a small piece in someone's happiness.
There you go.
In their week or their day.
Mm-hmm.
And will it lead to a record deal? Will it lead to any other kind of major thing happening? Accolades and things like I don't know. Honestly, don't even care anymore.
Okay.
If I can add to someone's happiness today, that's been the biggest blessing of my life, of moving here and kind of playing music here in South Florida.
Okay, I dig that. Describe the color yellow to someone who is blind.
The color yellow. All right. Blind person.
Yo, Ricky's like, yo, I've been drinking. You did some hard questions, yo.
Luckily, I've only had one.
Okay.
So I don't know what it's like to be blind. I can only imagine it's like sleeping at night with your eyes closed.
I agree. Yeah.
And I also don't know the science of blind. So like, I would imagine that maybe can a blind person see a little bit of light through their eyes? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm scared. I'm scared to answer that because
okay,
they're gonna cancel me because I don't know blind.
Oh
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Cancel culture. No. Okay. Those are legitimate questions.
He's asking. Someone answer that. I don't know.
Okay, so just to help you out, if I were to try to explain, maybe explain it with emotion. What does when you see the color? Like when you see a sunflower, what does that emotion give to you when you see a sunflower? Because it's yellow.
And the sun. Like the sun breeds happiness. It breeds light. It brings joy.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Happiness,
see,
joy.
Ain't nobody canceling you. Not on my watch, bro.
Yeah, heck no, we got this.
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck?
Oh my God.
Or 100 duck-sized horses? I just pictured that in my head.
I'm picturing it in my head right now. Oh my gosh. Give me the 100, man. Give me the 100. I feel like in a weird way, I'll pick them out one by one, man. Because I'm gonna get annihilated.
100? That's a lot, man.
That's a lot, but I'm scrappy. Come on.
I'm
scrappy. I don't want to mess with Goliath, man. I ain't David. Goliath gonna whoop me.
We're gonna kick our way through, yo. All right, awesome. So let's get into our little challenge here, and then no expectation.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Zims. All right, we have Zims in our mouth.
Okay, spit it out here.
All right, you won.
It's really just CNF the whole way.
Travel all across this land, just me and you. We'll end up hand in hand, somewhere down on the sand, just me and you. Just as free. Just as free as we'll ever be, and never.
Is that good?
That was awesome.
All right.
That was awesome. We out
I
here.
can't think of another song. to sing.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're out here vibing. Yo, Ricky Young, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank
Truly
you.
appreciate it, and much success and,
To you
and
too,
blessings to
brother.
your new family on the way. You guys, thank you so much. As always, hit the subscribe button, notification button, and support the show for only $1. Love over everything. Yep.
Yep.